Here's the summary of the aging doctor.
These are the early signs of arthritis. If you run and don't do this, start now. Featuring Dr. Vonda Wright by Stephen Bartlett.
Dr. Vonda Wright is a sports doctor with 30 years of experience working with high-performing athletes. She emphasizes the importance of sleep and recovery, saying that you can't do anything without a well-recovered brain. She also talks about how she applies brain science to her work, using EEGs to map the brain and identify which brain pathways are being overused. This allows her to train the physical brain like a muscle, making it more efficient. Dr. Wright also discusses the concept of precision longevity, which involves developing personalized health plans based on an individual's unique genetic makeup and biomarkers. She uses lactate threshold testing to determine the optimal heart rate for exercise and creates customized nutrition plans to fill in the gaps. The conversation also touches on the topic of bone health, with Dr. Wright explaining that bone density peaks in women at around age 28 and in men at around age 30. After that, bone density plateaus and then begins to decline. Muscle mass also changes with age, and gut function affects nutrient absorption. Dr. Wright notes that men's bones maintain their density longer than women's due to the influence of testosterone and genetics. However, women can maintain their bone density through chronic exercise, such as impact sports like basketball and running. She cites a study that found that masters athletes who exercised regularly maintained their bone density well into their 80s. Dr. Wright emphasizes that loss of bone density is not inevitable, but rather a result of estrogen decline. She stresses the importance of taking care of bones, as they are not static like people often think. Bones are dynamic and can be influenced through exercise and nutrition. The conversation also touches on the bone-brain axis, where osteocalcin released by bones can aid in neuroprotective effects, stimulate the growth of neurons, and decrease oxidative stress. Dr. Wright highlights the critical decade for bone health, which is between 35 to 45 years old, where estrogen levels start to decline, and it's essential to establish healthy habits, including regular exercise, nutrition, and preventive screenings. Dr. Wright stresses the importance of building muscle and VO2 max during this critical decade, as it can help maintain fitness and prevent decline later in life. She notes that a high VO2 max can provide a buffer against age-related decline, and that it's essential to start building it early to have a higher runway later in life. The conversation also touches on the link between muscle and longevity, with Dr. Wright explaining that muscle acts as a sink for glucose, preventing insulin resistance and releasing proteins that promote longevity and resilience. She also discusses the benefits of supplements such as high-quality protein and creatine, which can help build muscle and support overall health. Dr. Wright's approach to nutrition and exercise is centered around building muscle and promoting longevity. She believes that muscle is a key factor in preventing insulin resistance and releasing proteins that promote longevity and resilience. Her diet consists of 130 grams of protein per day, which she believes is essential for building muscle. She also stresses the importance of complex carbohydrates and vegetables, but limits her fruit intake to blueberries. The conversation also touches on the topic of obesity and weight, with Dr. Wright explaining that excess weight can do disproportionate harm to bones. She emphasizes the importance of building core strength and engaging in regular exercise to prevent back pain. Dr. Wright also talks about the importance of mobility and how it can help people stay healthy as they age. She suggests that people can build mobility into their daily routine by doing things like holding meetings while doing wall squats.
The conversation turns to the topic of gut health, with Stephen Bartlett mentioning that he's invested in a company called Zoe that offers at-home gut health tests. He encouraged listeners to check out the company and use a discount code for 10% off.
Conversation also touches on the link between menopause and bone density, with Wright explaining that estrogen helps regulate the balance between bone breakdown and bone rebuilding. She notes that estrogen receptors are present in all musculoskeletal tissues, and that hormone replacement therapy can help prevent bone loss, muscle loss, and inflammation. The conversation also touches on the topic of arthritis, with Wright explaining that there are two types: autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis and wear and tear osteoarthritis. She attributes the prevalence of back pain to our sedentary lifestyle, muscle weakness, and compression fractures of the spine. Dr. Wright emphasizes the importance of building resilience, both physical and mental, and how it can help people age with power. She explains that brain resilience can be built in the same way that skeletal resilience can, and that it's essential for peak performance.
Stephen Bartlett asks Dr. Vonda Wright if there's anything else they should have talked about, and she mentions the importance of midlife and menopause. She explains that metabolic changes during this time can lead to diabetes and Alzheimer's, and that it's essential for people to start thinking about their health during this critical decade. Stephen Bartlett is impressed by Dr. Vonda Wright's work and encourages listeners to follow her on Instagram and get on the waitlist for her book. He also thanks her for doing the work that she does and for turning the lights on for people who are living in the darkness when it comes to information about health and aging.
Dr. Vonda Wright answers the question left for her by the previous guest, which is, how do you know when it's enough? She says that you know it's enough when it becomes a grind and you don't love it anymore. Main points to grab attention. Dr. Vonda Wright emphasizes the importance of sleep and recovery for overall health and performance. She discusses the concept of precision longevity and how it can help individuals develop personalized health plans. The conversation touches on the topic of bone health and how it changes with age, with Dr. Wright emphasizing the importance of exercise and nutrition in maintaining bone density. Dr. Wright stresses the importance of building muscle and VO2 max during the critical decade of 35 to 45 years old. She discusses the benefits of supplements, such as high-quality protein and creatine, in building muscle and supporting overall health. Dr. Wright emphasizes the importance of building resilience, both physical and mental, and how it can help people age with power. To access the complete 19-minute summary and unlock detailed insights for each topic discussed in the video, please subscribe to Quick Podcast Summaries on Spotify and Apple Podcasts with free trial and later, just for the price of candy in most places. Happy listening.